What up? Please forgive my appearance. Please forgive my appearance. Uh, I'll do another one tomorrow. I know you see all the graves. I want you to see them. And now I could have been a fake ass nigga and just wind dyed my hair. You know what I'm saying? And got on camera so I could lead you to believe or make you try to believe. Like make believe. You know what I mean? Make believe. You know, that I'm some kind of young ass nigga. It's a lot of questions people ask me, especially like, they ask me like stupid questions, but a lot of them not really stupid. They don't come from, a lot of people don't come from bad environments. You gotta grow up in a bad environment to know about a bad environment. Now, what consists of a bad environment? A bad environment is kind of like when you know as a baby you're probably gonna go to jail or you probably gonna get shot and you haven't done nothing wrong. That's when you know you growing up in a bad environment. That's when you know you live in an environment where chances are you probably gonna go to jail or you gonna get shot. It's the norm in a bad environment. You know what I'm saying? It's when I say it's the norm to think like that because of the relationship between law enforcement and the people growing up in that environment. But every household is different, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the households are the same when you're growing up in a bad environment. Like each neighbor, it's like we all got the same kind of set of rules in the household. Like from neighbor house to neighbor house around the corner. Like his house around the corner is just like my house around the corner. The neighbor 3 houses down is just like his house is just like my house. You know what I mean? It's very much like that in a bad neighborhood, but you kind of know if you growing up in a real bad neighborhood and you like, I'm never gonna go to jail, I'm never gonna get shot. I don't see how you can say that when it's a bad neighborhood, it's a bad area, it's a bad environment. Like these are the things that we saw: people getting shot, people going to jail. You know what I'm saying? The people that were getting shot, yeah, they were doing things to get shot. Their behavior probably got them shot. Or somebody from another bad environment was coming over here to do some dirt to somebody over here. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody from over here wants to do dirt to somebody over here. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. But what about the kids that had nothing to do with nothing and had admirations and visions of being something else? You still, you know what I mean? You be like, man, I'm gonna be a DJ and then I'm gonna be a producer. You know what I mean? But I'm very good at football, so either I'm gonna box, play football. In other words, there were kids that were already when all of your coaches know you gonna go to college, know you gonna play ball already. Everybody that coaches you hands on, like you man, this boy definitely going somewhere with very little effort. Like he don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But end up gang banging or end up getting shot or end up going to jail or end up doing a robbery. Like a lot of that was really prevalent in my section and in other sections. Good kid do a robbery, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's that part with robbery is when you do a robbery, I don't know if you know the mentality of somebody that's doing a robbery. They go in there with the mentality of, if I get caught, I get caught. But then some people go in there with the mentality of, if I get caught, I shouldn't get a whole bunch of time because I ain't never really been in trouble. And that's factual, true. That's actually true. Like, that's a true statement. Like, I really shouldn't get the book thrown at me because I never get in trouble. I never go to jail and the police never have problems with me. You know what I mean? Those are the two mindsets of a robber. The one that, you know what I mean, if I get caught, I get caught. I'm not trying to get caught, but if I get caught, I get caught. Shit, I'm doing it for the money. Then it's that one that goes in there like, if I do get caught, I shouldn't have to be in here that long because I don't really do to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're a kid that's constantly in and out of jail, in and out of jail, then it's already set in stone for you already. We're talking about kids who had different admirations besides gangbang. Like, man, I didn't ever think I would end up in a gang. I never even thought that would be a part of my life. And you know what I mean? That's a bad environment. That's what I mean by bad environment. Not bad parenting, bad environment. You know what I mean? Just based on the fact that your parents either don't want to sell their property or they can't afford no property, that's a bad environment. You know what I mean? Some of y'all don't come from a bad environment. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all come from environments where y'all don't even have no one percenters in your area. You know what a one percenter is? Like a one percenter could be black, white, Mexican. That's, you know, one percenters don't have a color scheme. They're like, you didn't grow up in a Mexican hood, like you didn't grow up in a Serrano hood. Like you could be black and grow up in a Serrano hood. That's still a bad environment. You could grow up in a predominantly Chicano cultured, Latino-based community, and it's full of Mexican gangs and tag groups and party crews. If you've ever grew up in one of those environments, I've lived in those type of environments where it's community is heavy Mexican based, party crews, tag crews clash with the Serrano gangs. It might be like one black gang or one black crew, or it might be like two black gangs. I grew up in those type of cities. I stayed in those type of cities, but there are areas where, in those communities where there are no one, like your neighbors aren't 1%. Like your neighbor next door, he's a probation officer with his wife. This dude right here, he's Mexican and his wife is corrections. You know what I'm saying? And then the people across the street, they own their own business. There is no gang, nothing except you and your bad attitude. You didn't grow up in no bad community like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference when you grow up in one of those communities. You just know you're going to either going to go. Like, I would come outside to play. Yeah, I'm playing. But as I'm getting older and as I'm growing up, I know I'm going to either get shot. I'm either going to kill somebody or somebody going to try to kill me, or I'm going to go to jail. I knew that already. And the reason I knew I was going to go to jail was because I was going to have a gun before I was old enough to have a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a gun living over here. You don't want no problems. You're not from nowhere. You don't want to, because they're going the softest thing in one of those environments, and it's sad, they prey on people who don't belong to nothing. A person that just wants to be an individual. They prey on that person because they look at it as a sign of weakness. Not only do they look at it as a sign of weakness, the girls kind of are not attracted to the boy that he's just nothing he's a nothing. He don't have an identity, basically. The only thing he a football star, you know what I'm saying? And he's smart, and he's not like these ones. Like, these ones say blood all day. I put that on blood. I put that on the dead homies. He don't talk like that. Like, I don't talk like that. Even when I was younger, I didn't talk like that. Like I said, cuz to my homies every now and then, but I didn't every word cuz on the dead homies. I don't talk like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, oh, you older. Let me explain something to you. You keep saying when you get older, you should stop. I don't know what y'all belong to. I don't know what the hell y'all thought y'all belonged to or whatever that shit is. Some shit don't let you get out. That's an organization that's blood rooted into some shit. Family rooted. They don't just accept your resignation. It's got to come with some violence attached. You see what I'm saying? Some people, they don't just accept your resignation. So I don't know, why do you guys keep saying, oh, you old niggas, get out the way? No, what it is y'all, the old niggas is only in the way because our era wasn't snitching like y'all. Our era wasn't put it, that, you know, where we're located at, it's a whole bunch of PCs. There wasn't a whole bunch of PCs in our era. Like when I was a kid, nobody was a PC like that. Y'all PCs and proud. Back in my day, you never heard a story about PCs. You know when I found out about PCs? I was 25, 26 years old. That's when I found out about PCs. Like when I say PCs, y'all literally be in prison and go to PC and then come home and nobody says nothing to y'all or do nothing to y'all. That's when I found out, like, oh man, this is the biggest bunch of bullshit. And I would hate to see the next man's son get caught up in this shit. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all supposed to, I ain't even gonna even tell you. You know what I'm saying? You figure that out for your own damn self. You know what I mean? But that's literally when I found out about y'all being PCs like that. Like all your homies that standing in the hood, them niggas ain't all no solid ass niggas. The most solidest ass niggas is a PC in your hood. I'm solid, I ain't never ratted, I ain't never told. Who accused you of any of that? And why do you have to say those things so many times? Like a mantra to convince us. I don't have to convince you I ain't never told on nobody. I don't have to. I know what I'm supposed to do if you accuse me of it though. You see what I'm saying? I know what I'm supposed to do to you if I'm ever accused of that type of shit. Now, whether I go to jail afterwards is going to determine if you snitching or not. Now, you want me to repeat it slowly? I'll repeat it slowly. Now, being accused of snitching and not dealing with it accordingly is just as bad as being a snitch and actually snitching on somebody. Do you get the gist? Because you guys make up your own rules. And there should be a group of individuals that tighten you up. When I say tighten you up, you know, like shoot at you a little bit, you know, hit you in the elbow, the arm, to let you know there is some rules and regulations that you gotta abide by. You can't just do whatever the hell you want to. You know, am I for violence for correcting somebody? Yes, I am very much for violence correcting somebody. That's wrong. And when I say that's wrong, there's the like, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. So if there a life for a life. You see what I'm saying? There will be repercussions for your actions. Some people be like, oh man, nah man, I kind of just do what I want to do. So you just gonna go through life doing what you want to do to people? For you worshiping the devil, I call that devil worship. I call it devil worship when you want to do whatever the hell you want to do to another person and feel that nothing should happen to you for it. You do. And I believe, you know, hey, my belief system is pretty much original American diplomacy. Back in the days, they had, you know, are you calling me a liar? And y'all shoot it out right then and there. Nobody calls me a liar. You know what I mean? Who's the man running hills reckless with his mouth talking about me? And they met up and they settled their differences in the middle of the street. Don't you clutch, don't you grab. You clutched, you brandished, you was knocked down. You know what I mean? That was the law of the what? That was the law. You can't be running around calling people a liar, accusing them of cheating, stuff like that. You was murdered for that type of stuff. Or it was a terrible shootout. That was the law of the land. Are you calling me a liar? Are you calling me a cheat? You just smutting somebody up? They settled it up right then and there. America has become real watered down. Because if you wasn't good with an iron, you basically stayed your ass out the way. You wasn't, you know what I mean? There were people who were excellent with an iron. That means in the blink of an eye, you had a hole in your head. So everybody, either you were scared or you walked with your head held high as a man, knowing that I will have to take a life according to these rules and regulations. And it was bodies and blood in the street. Now it's fixed it to where people can just do what they want to do, and those with money can do what they want to do to who they want to do it to. And that's kind of like what the next child sees. A child realizes that money is so powerful that if I have money, then I can do whatever I want to who I want to do it to. And that's the wrong mentality for your child to have, because somebody's going to shoot your child. The right person is going to shoot your child, because the right person is going to say, hey, I don't want to be victimized just because I don't have money. I don't want to be mistreated because I don't have money. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? I don't want to be ostracized and shamed everywhere I go because I don't have money. And he's going to stand up for himself, and the day he stands up for himself might be the day your son end up in the hospital. I am definitely for, if you don't raise your children right, the streets are. You know that, right? That means somebody might not shoot your son might shoot somebody else and get his ass locked up forever. And you can't blame the system for that. You got to take some responsibility. You got to, as a parent, like right now, if my daughter was to shoot somebody right now, I kind of know why. But if I find out that whatever the reason behind her actions was just solely based on being trigger happy or just jumping to conclusions, I did not teach her that. She didn't get none of those traits from me. That is not something you would get from your father. You know what I'm saying? That is not something she got from her dad. You know what I mean? It had to be a detrimental situation. A situation that was life-threatening, and she overcame and adapted, and she wasn't playing around. That's her dad. You know what I mean? You get that as sure as you wake up. You know what I mean? A lot of times you don't have to raise a child for them to have your traits. It's just in your DNA. Like a lot of times it'd be like, damn, man, you kind of sound the same on the phone. One time I talked to my daughter and we sounded the same. Like the stuff that I say, she say. But the crazy part about it is I don't spend that kind of time with her. So that's what was so interesting to me. Like, I don't spend time with you like that for you to be so much like me. Like, kind of a lot like me, like for no damn reason. You know what I'm saying? For no damn reason. We had a picnic in the set. I took my daughter to picnic. It was a hood day, actually. So me and my daughter hopped on the train and we went to a set day. I learned a lot about my homies when I'm dealing with my child. My child had her hair styled in a mohawk. Now, our features, you can see my face behind her mama's face. Like, here's her mama face, and then here's my face. Like, boom. So it's like, you know that's that nigga baby. Like, that's that nigga baby. You can tell that's my baby, but her mama's face is in front. Like a silhouette. Like, her whole essence is her mama, like that, like bam, then me. But she had this like cool mohawk, right? And I had broke out from the Beijing. Like the Beijing had burned me, and it gave me a irritation. So my lips had swelled up and whatnot. And my baby just wanted to play, and it was this one, I forgot who little son he was. And he showed like my daughter, man. I was like, oh man, because the whole kid, they kind of swarmed to my daughter. And you know, my daughter's not an East Side baby. You know what I mean? My daughter's the opposite from an East Side baby. But these are East Side babies. Like, these are I'm an East Side. When they say I'm an East Side baby, that's a different baby. Them babies was very loving on my baby. Like, you know what I mean? And I didn't know these babies. I know who their parents are, but I didn't ask because it was happening too fast. I'm walking through the park with my baby, and the babies run up to my baby, and one boy, like, he just was bewildered by her. He was just, you know what I mean? Because she's a little bit darker than me, like a little bit darker, but she had like this certain type of grade of hair where it's like a good grade, but not a good grade. You know, it's like half nigga hair, half like a mixed person hair, but she's a little bit dark. And she got this little, you know, her nose connection thing, like, you know, her mom, from nose to mouth type situation. And the little boy, he was just fascinated with my daughter, man. And then the homies were like, man, let them play. And I don't really like, you know what I mean? When it comes to my child, I really don't take my eye off my child, because somebody can touch your child in a blink of an eye. You know what I mean? Finger or do anything to her. I really don't play around when it comes to my kid. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not fickle. I mean, I'm not I'm not opposed to kids playing and kids, roughhousing it. I'm cool with that. Each one teach one, still sharpen steel. I'm talking about fucking with my kid. Like you said something to my kid. You ran down on my kid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really, really, really tedious and really, really like fine line about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't fear death because when you're dead, you ain't gonna know it. So stop being scared of death because when you're dead, you're not gonna know it. Now, suffering to death, that's something totally different. That's you lying there dying slowly. You know what I mean? Now, if you're dying slowly, that means you got action at getting to the hospital and getting some help. That's on your surgeon and on your doctor with a little help from you. So 50% you, 50% the doctor, you gonna make it. You know what I mean? You got to have the gumption and the want to live, the desire to live. If a doctor can only do so much, it's up to you after that. After the doctor stitches everything up and it finds out what's threatening and what's not threatening and applies the antiseptics and does what he's supposed to do, the rest is up to you. Do you want to live? Is the pain that unbearable? Okay, that's my mentality. Now, dealing with my child, I don't mind, a parent saying, you know what I'm saying, oh, come on, you know what I mean, she plays a little too rough. Oh, no problem, man, you know what I'm saying, I understand, not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm talking about you running down on my kid. Like, hey, you know what I mean, you watch how you play with my kid, man, you know what I mean. Matter of fact, come on, baby, let's go. I don't know what kind of kid this is. I'm stepping in immediately. And it could go real bad. The crazy thing about y'all, I'm not gonna call y'all young niggas because a lot of y'all stupid as fuck. Y'all don't have a fucking clue. That YN word, when you go to the pen in California, and when you start up north, call another black man a nigga and you gonna get your ass knocked out or you gonna get your ass stabbed. Some niggas let you call them nigga. Other niggas, other black people don't. That's an up north thing. You down south. When you down south, you really be on some bullshit to keep it a band with you. Them niggas up north, they don't let you call them nigga. And if you keep pressing the line, you can get your ass whacked up. You can get your ass booked and stabbed up. When you stab a person, you don't stab them just a little bit. You do know that, right? You trying to get this motherfucker off this planet. That's what you're supposed to be trying to do. You don't play with this motherfucker. I don't play with nobody. If I'm trying to do, if we're talking about stabbing somebody, why would I only do it just a little bit? So you can come back and hurt me or come back and hurt somebody I love? No. I want all your win. I want everything, anything that could keep you up and moving around, I want it out of you. You can't just be calling people nigga up north. A dude told me one time, he said, hey, let me tell you, that nigga word, you don't say it too much. I was like, I really don't say it too much. He said, I noticed, but you just said it not too long ago. It's gonna be somebody that's gonna tell you, hey, don't never call me that word. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me that word. If you're like, oh, nigga, shut up, nigga. Man, he gonna fuck you up. When I say fuck you up, if you too big and too strong, they got things. The biggest knife I seen was 1.5 feet. And it was so big in diameter because it was a sprinkler spike. It was a sprinkler spike that the Serrano stashed under the stairs. See, my cell is right under the stairs. So where he stashed it in the encasing of the steps. And I so happened to be looking dead at him when he did it. It was a veteranano put a youngster on his back, an old OG essay, and the youngster stashed it. Now, I can't steal that knife, but I had to tell my people where it was, because just 2 swings from that knife and you a dead man. If you was to get hit in the neck with it, it's gonna have about that much steel out of it. And it was designed to do what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? It was designed to do what it's supposed to do. Up north, them dudes are gonna book you. They're gonna hit you somewhere all up in here. And you're gonna get medevac, and you probably gonna have to go to a protective custody yard. You wanna know why? Because you can't stay on the line. Like you a fucking weirdo. You just do what you wanna do, and nothing in life is that way. You can't just, oh man, I follow my own rules. So you think you're just gonna disrespect me. And if you don't know what disrespect is, that's kind of your ignorance that got you in that situation. Lack of ignorance. That man simply said, hey man, please don't refer to me as that word. That's a terrible word. Ah, nigga, and you kept doing it. You did it after he asked you not to, and so he either knocked you out or he stabbed your ass real good. Now, I don't know why y'all creators, y'all content creators haven't spoke about that. I don't know why y'all content creators haven't said nothing about none of those rules. None of those rules. Good thing it was, because when people hate you or don't like you, they'll wait for something to happen to you on purpose so they can laugh at the situation. Like, I don't like him, he's just loud, he obnoxious. So they let you step into a bear trap. Whatever it was finally got your ass. I was never one of those type of people that people didn't like me like that. So people be like, hey, let me holler at you. Hey, that word, that's fucked up. Don't use that word like that. Which word did I use? I said cuz. He was like, no, you didn't say cuz or blood. You called him a nigga. These niggas in the up north don't fuck around like that. They either ex-Jama or ex-BGF, or some of them are Muslims, or some of them just Bay Area niggas that's on black shit. They can't call them niggas. I'm like, so what do Southern California niggas be on? Y'all be on a lot of bullshit a lot of times. Cause y'all still be like cuz and blood and this and that. Don't ever cuz a blood. And a blood ain't gonna never blood you unless, if a blood you right now, he don't mean no offense by that shit. Cause he don't see you as a Crip. He see you as his people. So a Crip ain't gonna call a non-affiliate cuz. If you see a Crip calling a non-affiliate cuz, that non-affiliate has got a lot of love from that organization. They see him as a brother, as a comrade. You one of us, you a comrade. So if Bloods get to like, hey, Blood, man, I'm sorry about that. That slipped out. Man, fuck that. What's happening, Blood? Woo, man, I'm sitting there chilling. Why would he call you something from his organization? That's an honor. They look at it as an honor. Okay, now you might not look at it like that because you so busy thinking of, I can't wait till my out date comes so I can get the fuck out of here. And that's how a lot of people should be. Like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here so I can live a brand new life. Because ignorance is bliss for some. But once you receive the information, you are held accountable to better your own life. You're held accountable on all aspects. And this is not wisdom from an old nigga. This is wisdom that you get when you back in there back then. People are like, oh man, you older OG. This is no, that's y'all policing policing what people see, policing what niggas see. Y'all gatekeepers. That term gatekeeper, that is a real word. That's you. The message. Let's just say, what if I wrote all this down and gave another nigga the message to give to y'all? Y'all be happy to hear that shit. But he got through the gate. He got through the gate to give you the message. You get what I'm saying? That's how weird. A lot of y'all do need to get socked out. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of y'all deserve to get socked out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of y'all need y'all ass whooped. A lot of y'all need a good shellacking. You know what I mean? A good shellacking. You know what I mean? A good shellacking. I want you to see something. I don't just be talking shit. This isn't planned. In my bag. I had to get a new bag. My Adidas bag literally fell apart. These are my gloves. Now, I haven't used these gloves in a week and a half. My jump rope. My clippers. My T-liners. Now, I could have literally shaved. Listen, hold on. Oil for my clippers. My T-liners. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oil. Oil. Slide me some oil so I can lubricate my mind. Slide me some oil and I would be just fine. Slide me some oil and let me lubricate my mind. You know what I'm saying? Slide me some oil, Jack, so I can lubricate my mind. I'm trying to slide you niggas some oil. You know what I'm saying? Now, I could have did all of that right here, right now, before I got on camera. Before I get on camera. My beard pen. Beard pen. Black of course. This is not a plug. This is my dye I use. Can you see it? Hold on. Volume. This box is really falling apart because it's pretty much getting all its uses. Oh shit. Can you see it? Can you see it? Well, anyway, it's permanent cream hair color, right? No PPD free, ammonia free, all of that free. Let me read everything that's on it. It says permanent cream hair color, inspired by nature, ammonia free, gluten free, vegan, ammonia free, PPD free, 100% grade coverage, right? Now I could have literally went and styled and dyed everything to make myself look like a juvenile and came on here so I can look real young and say good things. What is that mess? An influencer? This is not about influence. This is about niggas having common sense and getting their shit together, because it's kind of hard to fight for your people when your people are seen as, it's kind of hard to be the Black Panther and fight for your people when your people do the most ridiculous shit to other cultures. Like, you niggas don't really stand up for shit. You got niggas that want to be something else. Like, you got niggas that want to be Samoan. I never said I was Samoan. You know what I mean? Now, am I attracted to they women? Of course. They women look black. You know what I mean? But they're not black. You know what I mean? They are beautiful colored women. You know what I mean? Samoans, Tongans, Polynesian women. Have you ever met a French Polynesian woman? It's a lot of Negro characteristics. They're just a little bit larger. A lot of times, people don't find Polynesian people attractive because they so big, or they say they just fucking fat. You know what I mean? Like, don't nobody want no big ass bitch, butch. You know what I'm saying? That's not, you gotta really stop being so, how can I say this? You influenced by a system that hates your people. You are totally influenced by the same system that fucked over your kind. And when they put your people in places where you didn't know this exists, you had to go over to that type of area. Like in Brazil, they got something called the favelas. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the rest of Brazil, but then you have the favelas. Now, I don't know if any of y'all know, but the prettiest women are in the favelas. The most beautiful women in Brazil are in the favelas, and those are the places you're not supposed to go. Like, those are black zones. Like, don't go over there, nigga, you're gonna get killed. Like, they don't like people over there. It's not really true. My skin blends in. Listen, if I spoke Spanish, my skin blends in Cuba. If I spoke Spanish, my skin blends in Puerto Rico. My skin blends in well in Belize and Brazil. My skin blends in well in the West Indies. My skin blends in well in all of those places. I could get dropped off on a parachute and go to all of those places. Will I be welcome? It depends on what I do to those people. You have to gain those people's trust. Even right here in Mexico, there's a population of half black, half Mexicans. Zacatecas, Oaxaca, and over there in Mazatlan. Over in that area, in that rural area, but they're just poor. They're so poor, you shouldn't bring a camera. Because you can't believe that people still live like this. Like, That's how poor those people are over there. Those are called black zones, and those are the zones where uh, you get killed really fast. Like you're pleading and you're begging, they kill you fast. You be like, no, please, pow. You know what I mean? And it be so brutal to the person that's observing. I don't know why you did it, and I don't want to know why you did it. You know what I mean? Especially if you in another country like that. That's dead serious. You know what I mean? It's dead serious. But the most beautiful women were in the favelas. I'm talking about bewildering. Now let's get back over to here. You got women from Western Samoa. A lot of us have never been to Samoa. A lot of us don't even know what a Samoan is. A lot of us call Tongan Samoan. You know what I mean? There's a rivalry between the two countries. There's a heavy rivalry between the two countries. A lot of Samoans have an issue with Tongans. I mean, but let's use street politics. There's Samoan Crips, but they're more Samoan Bloods. Just keep it a band with you. There's more Samoan Bloods than it is Samoan Crips. There's more Tongan Crips than I've never met a Tongan Blood before. And that's some of their politics. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you put Blood, Paru, or Crip at the end of anything, it becomes African. It's definitely African. You can't just put Crip and Blood at the end of something and have a hatred for Negroes. That's real ass backwards. It don't make sense. How could you say, you know what I mean? This is Hawaiian Crip, but we don't like blacks. Then take that Crip off of there because you became black once you did that. What's the definition of Crip? If you know what the Constitution came from, it was derivative. It's so many rumors about where the Constitution for Crip came from, but it was wrote from a dude from the Black Panther Party. The Crips are Negroes. I mean, just get that through your skull. Like, Cripping is for Negroes. If you don't want nothing to do with Negroes, you can't put Crip at the end of it. You like, that's ass backwards. You do know that, right? Like, I hate niggas. Like, niggas make me sick. Huh, cuz? No, fuck no. Like, no, I don't want to shake your hand. Like, that was weird. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, you're ass backwards. And when you're ass backwards, let me explain something. I still got my gloves out. Let's see how my little hands fit. My little hands, they fit in these little gloves, but I still feel I need to wrap my wrist sometimes. Because sometimes my wrist, you can tell if you're not making your fist properly, your wrist take a pounding. You know what I'm saying? So boom, people are like, why do you I keep this stuff on me, you know what I mean? You see my Buddha? I want it 3 times bigger. Like, excuse me. I'm sorry I did that on camera. I want this. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you if it's real or not. Sometimes I got it and sometimes I don't. You wanna know why? Because I be pawning this thing, man, and I have to learn to stop pawning this. I got my music equipment over there, man. I had to renew my music equipment thing and it just resets it. But anyway, long story short, I'm not making a proper fist when my wrist takes an impact, takes the pounding. It's not my old age. And secondly, a lot of you dudes be weird, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't live in California. A lot of y'all get on here and y'all be living down south. A lot of y'all be living Midwest and y'all be saying stuff like, I'm moving different. I'm moving a lot different. No disrespect to nobody, man. And well, you can take it disrespectful if you want to. I really don't care. California is not like the South because we are a multicultural ass state. But this is a state where it's a vacation resort because of the damn weather. It's lame. Like, weather-wise, California is super lame. You know what I'm saying? It's different out here. You know what I'm saying? But they've made it a vacation resort, and all the rules is like, you know what I mean? Like race separation. You don't have race separation. When from up north, the Mexicans are cool with blacks. This is a Southern California politic. They didn't explain that to you because a lot of people down south be like, the Mexicans tearing y'all ass up down there. Mexicans be painting y'all ass. No, nigga, from Lompoc going north, North Daniels and blacks, they all are running around, and from where Bulldog country is in Central California, a lot of people have Mexican baby mamas. A lot of Mexican girls got black baby daddies. Once you get to San Francisco, it's no telling what kind of half black, half stuff going on over there. They don't have those type of politics. So you can't say it's the whole California. That's a Southern California thing. So when you come across a Southern California essay and he on that type of time and he just pressing the line like you black and this and this and that, either he gonna whoop you or you gonna whoop him. Either he gonna gun you down or you gonna gun his ass down. There's nothing else to discuss if he's on that type of politic. But if he's got that kind of arrogance about himself, you can address it. Like, hey man, what's up with you? You know what I mean? And then if you with the business, then you just take care of business. But business will be taken care of. But other than that, down south, because I lived down south for quite a bit. I don't know if y'all know, I drove from California all the way to Alabama. And then from Alabama, I went to Florida. So I touched every state going that way. I hit Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and then I hit Alabama right after the Mississippi. Then after Alabama, I went to the bottom part of Atlanta to get to Florida. So there's a part of Atlanta where you're going to go through that part and come down and go into Florida. But in all of those places, there are Mexicans. Like in Florida, there is Mexicans. Alabama don't really have a population of Mexicans. Atlanta has a population of Mexicans. Mississippi didn't have really none. But I had the unfortunate pleasure of being locked up in Birmingham. In Birmingham, Alabama, I had to. I'm gonna tell you why I ended up in Birmingham. So, the race relations is going to change when you hit Texas. Texas is a place that's so huge. I went through Abilene, Odessa, and then Fort Worth, and then like down through Houston. Then I ended up in Louisiana. Louisiana has a population of Mexicans as well, but it's not like you think. Like once you hit Texas, it's a different ball game. Like it's different. Like that shit's totally different. It's not the same type of ambiance. The whole ambiance is different. But it's 100% Mexicans, like in Texas. But they're different. They're like very damn different. Even like the gun rules and the way the people live, everybody got a damn gun. Everybody with a truck got a rifle in their truck. You know what I mean? The police are different. You know what I mean? You got to be careful on that I-95 corridor, especially if you're trying to smuggle any damn thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a little bit of game. You need at least 2 decoy cars. You need to find a real old ass lady and not make it too obvious. You know what I mean? You need to really, really make it make sense. You shouldn't have no stolen firearms and transporting them because that's punishable up to 22 years. If you get caught with a stolen firearm, taking it from California to another place, you are in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? You're in a lot of trouble. And that's all really I can elaborate on that. You got to be real careful on the activities that you do that can hurt you. I'm not here to influence you to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only really talking to my kind of people. You know what I mean? I'm not talking to everybody's people. I'm talking to my kind of people. And my kind of people could be Mexican, they could be Asian, they could be Polynesian, they could be black. You know what I mean? Some of them might be 1% whites. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might be white kids that, you know, he lived in a trailer home or he lived in apartments. A lot of white kids was forced to live in communities where whites wasn't liked. Did you know that? There's a lot of white kids that their parents lost their job or dad left or dad died. I remember, oh boy, dad died and he had to move to the ghetto. And he was fighting like 90 going west. He ended up becoming an essay though. You know what I'm saying? Like he was more accepted with the Mexicans accepted him. But he did tag for a while. A lot of people were taggers. Like I hung out with a lot of taggers and shit. I did the hip hop thing. I do the hip hop thing to this day. I still do the hip hop thing to this day. But we tagged and we hung out with essays. Like I hung out with essays same way I hung out with blacks. Some days I hung out more with essays than I hung out with blacks. It's a respect factor. Have I put in some work with some essays? Of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course. Of course, you know what I'm saying. If something comes for if your people when you with them, then you hold them down. You know what I'm saying. So that was called like you back it up. Like Butch ain't from it, but he back it up. You know what I'm saying. That's the term. But you can get in trouble backing them up because they OGs will come out from hidden places like, hey man, like you know what I'm saying. Shit goes bad and it's politics. You know what I mean. Southern California politics. I don't get off the subject. It's just that so many things need to be cleared up. So being down south, you have the Southern Negro, which is my people. Oh, the Mexicans painting y'all ass down there, man. Y'all running from down there to come down here because the Mexicans tearing your ass up. They painting y'all ass down there, man. That's only in Southern California, the rumors that you heard. The rumors that you heard are literally is a Southern California politic. Norteños and blacks Norteños can tattoo on blacks. Norteños could hang out with blacks. No, Norteños are not the same as Sureños. Those are two different rival fashions. But you guys run with that narrative, and you know what I mean? The truth of the matter is with long time rivalry between Southern niggas and California niggas was Southern niggas always got mad when they girls liked California niggas. That was a rivalry that nobody liked to talk about. California niggas always like Southern girls, and Southern girls always like California niggas. Because some places are so damn country to where a California nigga stand all the way out. But a street California nigga definitely stand all the way out. But there's money in the South the same way as money on the West Coast. But one thing about the West Coast, nigga, you ain't never had a plug like us. We the closest thing to Mexico. Texas is when the price is gonna change. Once you pass Texas, how much you get a brick from? California nigga get a brick for 3 times less than what a Southern nigga get a brick for. He need a Cali plug or he need that pipeline coming straight from South America. If he ain't plugged with Julio and Juan and Miguel and them straight coming from over the border, he gotta go through somebody on the other side of Texas, which is the West Coast. What is it, 17.5 a key? A nigga in my era, reason why I said a nigga in my era, we ain't never paid no 17.5 for no key or nothing. I'm right here in Ontario, California. This is where my job is. You can find me at the 7-Eleven when I'm on my way home from work, 9 out of 10. Right here off of Haven and Europa. We ain't never paid no 17.5 for a brick. And not only that, for a brick, he put more in the brick. He put a couple of ounces extra with that when you come with the money. Or he might front you until you pay him. And then a lot of times the plug, which was multiple plugs, you'll be on him like $7,000 to $8,000 and he forgot. And then he'll remember later on, like, you still owe me 7,000, fool. You still owe me 7,000, fool. I forgot. I ain't forget, man. I just ain't had it. Don't even worry about it, fool. Don't even worry about it, because I forgot about it. Yeah, I fucking forgot. You know what I mean? I forgot about that. And because you asking to get fronted some work. Man, I need 3 bricks. I'm going to bring you back. What you going to bring me off the 3 bricks? Man, I'm going to bring you this and this and this and all. Fool, you owe me 7,000 already. Okay, well, then I ain't really making nothing on this. I got to at least make this. Don't even worry about the 7,000. Just bring me back this. You know anybody want to buy this and buy that? Hell yeah, give it to me. Just make whatever you can, but I'm tired of seeing this shit. I don't want this shit here no more. That's the kind of plugs we got. Y'all down there, y'all got to figure that out. We the closest thing to South. Mexico is 45 minutes to an hour away from me. I'm right here with a shit ton of Mexicans. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So when I get down south, they like, Cali. Hey, Cali, let me holler at you real fast. My cousins and them, my cousin like, hey, Butchie, my people coming over, they want to talk to you. I'm like, man, I'm not on that type of time down here. You know what I'm saying? But they swear, you know what I mean? The Mexicans down there painting y'all ass down there. The Mexicans painting y'all ass. Let me hip you. And this ain't on no racial shit, but it is on some racial shit. Excuse my language. That was cocoa. Mixed with coffee. Call it a Bron. You know what I mean? All right. When you go down south, you rarely see white cops. Everybody's a black cop. So in Alabama, Alabama's pretty big. Mississippi's pretty big. I'm waiting to see a Mexican cop or a white cop. All these is nigga cops. You know that, right? There barely see white cops. Barely. I mean, that's a whole nother story I could tell. That's going to take at least about 30, 40 minutes itself. There are no Mexican cops. There are not too many. And that's not reality in California. That's not reality on the West Coast. Like, no Mexican cops, not too many white cops. All of these motherfuckers is black cops. So how can you sit here and use the nigga crutch of it was prejudice and I'm being discriminated when all these motherfucking cops is black? So what's y'all argument again? Because y'all don't have y'all got a few white cops, but it's more black cops in y'all shit than anything. And the way the South operate this is an ancient Chinese secret, and this is only for my brothers in West Coast that ain't never did no traveling. They send the black cops into the black communities because they still have white communities and they still have black communities down south. It's still segregated. It's really still segregated. Now, a lot of people be like, you kind of got a Mexican appeal to you. Like when you ever seen a brother that grew up around Mexicans, he talk with a twang. Like, hey, fool, like who you talking to, fool? You disrespecting me, fool. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, fool? Who you disrespecting, fool? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it'll slip in and slip out just based on. You know what I mean? So I was down there. I went down there because I was on parole. All my family are here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like my family is down south and in Texas. They moved. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother went to Louisiana. My dad moved to Texas, you know, while I was on parole. Like my dad was like, I'm moving, I'm selling the house because he had 2 houses in Rialto. But one of his houses was in Los Colinas, an area called Los Colinas what's that? It's like on top of Rialto, kind of like, you know, in between Sierra and on top of like the top part. You know what I mean? It's a real nice community, Los Colinas. He sold those houses, right? Well, one got foreclosed by my sister. My stepsister had that house. So they sold the properties or whatever, whatnot, and so forth. My dad buys property in Texas. I'm still on parole. They're not letting me go down there. So I have to stay in California, and once I'm off parole, then I can do what I need to do. But crazy thing was that, you know, it just was all bad for me. You know what I'm saying? When I say all bad, like I didn't have a clean address to give them. The parole system is so backed up. They just, long as I give them an address, they don't care. I'm like, man, the homie house he had pounds of kush. Like he was like growing the shit. But it would be weed, it's guns, and it's women, and it's a few pimps, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like real tight with Pomona Pimpin' Young. You know, Pomona Pimpin' Young, he's not an active pimp to my knowledge, but he has the popularity and he's actually a somebody in the community. Like, you know what I mean? He's just known for that lifestyle because pimping is a lifestyle. So my peoples is really, really tight with him. So, you know, KMG and them from Above the Law used to come by and we'd be right there, but I'm on parole. So I'm a search warrant. So I used to tell my homie, hey man, I'm gonna leave because I'm a search warrant. He's like, nigga, you don't gotta go nowhere. I'm like, nigga, I'm on parole. Tell your parole officer this is where you gonna be at. And I was going to Dr. Dre's studio with Mario Johnson, which is Chocolate, the producer, and Silk, which is Russell. Russell Brown's my brother, Silk. He produced If I Can Give It To You, But What You Gonna Do With It? I Can Give It To You, but what? Silk produced that. Like, that's all Silk. So we going to Dr. Dre's studio so I used to be in Dr. Dre's studio like for like 72 hours at the most. You know what I mean? You can shower in there and everything. It's upstairs and downstairs. There's a hot tub, not a hot tub, it's a jacuzzi in the middle of the studio. Like, these are all producer stations. Then you got the main station, and then you got all the platinum plaques from the game and all of them. Like, all the platinum plaques and the gold ones is in there. So I'm right there, like, you know what I'm saying? So boom, I ended up absconding because I stopped. You know what I'm saying? I had to get indoors. Like, I gotta like, you know, I felt like a burden. You know what I mean? And then once or twice I was like outside. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like once or twice I was outside. So I called my people. I said, they said, where you at? I said, man, I don't have nowhere to go right now. They was like, come on down here. Lil Stiller told me to come. He didn't tell me he didn't talk to Auntie. Lil Stiller, mama is my auntie. That's my grandmama's sister. But she the baby of the family, so she's still youthful, still running around at the time. You know what I mean? She go to bingo and all of that shit with a pistol. So when I get down there, my auntie's so happy to see me because she was mad at my uncle. She moved down south with my uncle and his family. My uncle has one of the biggest families, and I don't think you understand what I mean by how big this man's family is. Every house is his relatives for about 2 miles. He's a Swanson, Smiths and Swansons, right? So I don't know if you ever heard of Eufaula, Alabama. Is Eufaula, Alabama, and then you got Union Springs and Eufaula. He got relatives, I mean, clean all up and through there. I never need a place to stay, and they don't even know me from Adam. But I got enough cousins from my aunties that came out of my auntie's hips that's down there. You know what I mean? So I became a babysitter. So my girl cousin, she can go out. She can go all the way to Montgomery, is about an hour away. She go to Montgomery and she go to Beeham. She used to tell me every day, like, I got to take you to Beeham. I got to take you to Montgomery because there ain't nothing around here. I used to be like, nah, I'm cool. Do you know I never got stopped or harassed by the police? All of them black. And when you grow up down there, and let's say we from Birmingham, it's all about family, and it's all about family, and it's all about what kind of family you come from. Me and you growing up, we from down south, born and raised. You end up being a sheriff. You and our other friend end up being a detective. You know my whole damn family. That's how they work, the whole damn family. Now, white people, they own businesses and they own warehouses and places like that, but they let blacks run them because of where they're located. They're located in black communities. So white people own the places, but they hire blacks to run them, but they be knowing the black people's family. Like your daddy used to work for my daddy. You get it? Like your dad worked for my dad. Your dad is close to my family. That's how the white people had relationships with the blacks. Because when black people lashed out, and they tore up what was opposing, like, you know, the system. When they lashed out at the system, they lashed out like that. I don't know if cause see, a lot of people ain't gonna just come right out and say it. Chicago did it too. Remember when they ran out all the white people out their businesses, and then black people had to start taking over the businesses? The disciples and the folks did. The folks and the disciples and then the vice lords and them did that. A lot of these communities they folks. A lot of people call it a myth. That shit's really not a myth. It's a belief system. It's a cultural system, and it's got some criminality to it. It's got a lot of criminality to it, but it's also like a system. You know what I mean? One day when I was down there, they found out one of those dudes owned I forgot, he owned a mill or something like that, like a wood thingy, where he was making money. They took him in the woods, in the sticks, because there's a lot of trees down there, like in the sticks. They call it in the sticks. Off the 9-5 corridor. They call them 2 lanes and 4 lanes. They stay off of 4 lane. No sidewalks. They found him burned to death. They kidnapped him and burned to death, white man. But look where he's at. He's like, you like surrounded by nothing but blacks. It ain't shit but blacks for miles. And no other race. So the police was all black. The police station, it was like one or two white dudes. I seen them, but it was all black. Like, so I'm down there. I'm on the run basically, if you want to say that. But I just wanted to just get from down here. I had nowhere to be down here. You know what I mean? I had nowhere to live down here. All I was gonna do is end up going to jail for not having a resident. Like, I was gonna go to jail for not having a place to stay. I haven't broke any laws. I haven't done nothing wrong. I just literally don't have a place to, I don't have a clean address to give you. None of my family is here. And they like, well, just give us 2 more years and you'll be off. I'm like, I mean, Jesus, what part of me? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do nothing, but you want me to give you addresses and I'm just gonna end up going to jail. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I need an address. I ended up upscaling and going down there and living down there. I'm down there a good 8 months, about 6 to 8 months. The seasons change. When I came, it was wintertime. When I left, it was summertime. I left in the summertime, legit, like it was the summer. Without being pulled over. You wanna know how I got caught? Because my parole officer never stopped talking to me on the phone. Even though I was gone all that time, you know that man kept talking. He talked to my cousin on my phone one time. He was like, is he around there? He was like, yeah. My cousin was like, telephone. My parole officer like, you better get your butt back here. I said, man, look, I'm not gonna charge my family to give me a plane ticket to come back. And I'm not gonna charge them to give me a bus ticket back. I'm just gonna turn myself in. Because I don't wanna turn my family, I don't wanna charge my family. They didn't pay for me to get down here, so I'm not gonna charge them to get down there. But you wanna know how they found me? I was still using my EB3 card. I was using EBT down there. They don't have EBT. And they was cashing it out. And that's how the system knew where I was at. Man, I was down there for months. I had to pay California that EBT money that I was using down south. They charged me for that. Like, we charged you for every time you used, we charged you for every month we reloaded the card. So every month they reloaded the card. My auntie stayed with groceries. My auntie and my girl cousins, they had groceries, boy. That's why I didn't have to leave. And my girl cousin, they got babysitters. So all my little cousins, I love you, Butchie, my cousin Butchie. Oh, why you gotta leave? My cousins was upset. The little cousins, they was upset when I turned myself in. Why? He ain't done nothing wrong. Why he gotta go? Yeah, it's wrong. Why he gotta go? But he don't have nobody but us. I love Butchie. When they say they love you, they mean it. I love you now. I love you. I love you. Where Butchie? Why you gotta leave? But you're not coming back for a while. Yeah, that was tearing them up for a cool little minute. Monty was upset about that. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to charge my family, so I was down there, so I know what I'm dealing with and I know what I'm talking about. Guns down there, super cheap. Drugs, super high. So me being the intellectual Negro that I am, I said, why are drugs so expensive over here, but guns are dirt cheap? I'm talking about brand new guns, top of the line shit, $150, $250, $300. You know what I mean? $450. I'm like, shit, this shit's like about $1,500 in California. This is like, damn, you gonna pay stupid money for this. So I said, damn, look at what they do. You got the drugs, they got the gun. They separated that on purpose. You do get that, right? Because if the gun is cheap, and plus they got the narcotic cheap, that's a hell of a drug war that's being funded over there. Cheap firearms and lots of drugs. I mean, you can't beat that whole little system right there, and then the cops are black. So when you get pulled over by a cop, what do you usually say? Oh, you harassing me. You harassing me because of the color of my skin. You profiling me. Nope. In Atlanta, Mississippi, Alabama, those cops are black. 85 to 90% of them cops is black. And it's still separated by community. So you Southern niggas, man, y'all different. Y'all don't have the same politic as us. Nigga, we come outside, let's just say you got into it with a Mexican. Say you and the Mexican had a terrible situation. It got bad, got ugly. About 8 or 9 police cars gonna pull up and they gonna be Mexican. How you think that feel to the nigga? How you think it feel to the black man? Because a black man and a nigga are 2 different people. You know that, right? I can be a nigga, but guess what? I'm usually gonna go to jail when I do be one. You know what I'm saying? So let's just hope I don't be a nigga. You know what I mean? And you talking to a Negro. Because if I be a nigga, I'm finna try to hurt everybody that's standing in front of me. And I ain't gonna feel shit about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. I really feel bad. No, man, hurry up, let's get to jail. And I don't wanna get there before dinner so I can eat. I don't wanna starve until tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then they gonna be shuffling you around in them little holding tanks, man. I'm not really for that type of shit. I don't like that type of shit. Will I stab somebody in there? Of course. Quick and fast. Wanna know why? Because they'll stab you. You know what I mean? Are you outnumbered? Severely. So, and if you want to overcome an adept, you need to get cracking and get cracking for real. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by a nigga. You know what I mean? So you better hope you're dealing with a black man and not a nigga. And if you don't care which one you dealing with, I ain't gonna call the police if you don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like call. I've never called them. Do you know the one time that I called them, I felt some kind of way about calling them? Because I don't be wanting to hear these niggas' mouths, the homies' mouths and shit. Because they be doing stuff. A lot of niggas do a lot of snitch shit and they can't wait for you to drop the ball. So when a hero falls, a coward rejoices. When a hero stumbles and falls, a coward rejoices. So the minute you have to do something similar to snitching, the niggas that snitching in the hood that the homies been on already, they like, was it with him? But y'all gonna let him do it? This and that. No, nigga, I don't know what grid is. I ain't never thought about being grid. I had to call and ask what that was, and the homies can vouch for me. Oh man, I do gang intervention. Gang intervention ain't got nothing to do with grid. So stop that shit right now. Gang intervention don't have nothing to do with grid. Gang intervention has nothing to do with grid. Gang intervention is you exposing the sour side of gang banging, the bullshit that's really going on, shit that nobody wants to be a part of, and the foul shit and the nasty shit, and letting a person say, oh man, that's weird. That's why they keep breaking, gangs are in California are broken down into not just one organization, it's broken down into this generation, and that generation, because this generation don't want nothing to do with the last generation, because the last generation, they were scandalous, sleeping with each other's wives when they go to jail, giving each other AIDS, being gay in jail and getting PC'd up. This nigga's a rat, and they rat harboring. Oh, it's more in that generation than it is in our generation. You see how it is just better to separate it instead of just stop doing it all together? That's what they do. You know what I mean? But for our southern niggas in the West Coast, that's literally the difference. You know that, right? How it's predominantly this color and that color. So when I turned myself in, I got a girl cousin by the name of Victoria. Victoria took me to Birmingham. She drove me all the way up to Birmingham and walked me in there. Now she was kind of sad, but she wasn't kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? But Victoria is like, she's my, you ever had a crush? You know what I'm saying? When you was a kid, like when I was 4 and 5, I used to swear I used to like me some Victoria, because Victoria was awesome. You know what I mean? She got like Indian hair, and she was real chunky. She wasn't chunky when we was kids though, but she ended up being chunky. Like my family is quite buxom. You know what I'm saying? Like the women on my side of the family, not my father's side, very buxom, like, and no booty. Like they don't have no booty, but they got huge boobs. Dolly Partons, just infamous Dolly Partons. And then some of them are short and thick and Dolly Partons. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's the women in my family. Like they literally just quite buxom. And she ended up being very buxom. You know what I mean? Like super buxom. Like when we was from kids to high school. She did my hair for me one day. She put a Hawaiian silk in my hair. And from that day forward, it was girls on girls on girls. My girl cousin was like, wow. You know what I mean? My girl cousin, she was like, I shouldn't have did your hair. My mama told her something. My mom was like, what you putting that boy here? I put the rest of my Hawaiian silk in his hair. Man, I'm talking about, they was like, are you Puerto Rican? Are you this and this and that? Girls would be, it'd be whole, but all her girlfriends, they would, you know what I mean? It was like, it was crazy. I was like, damn, you know what I mean? The difference perhaps put a texturizer in a nigga hair. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, we pretty tight. We were pretty tight, you know what I'm saying? After my mom's passing, you know, like, a lot of stuff fell apart for me, you know what I mean? Because my mom was like, only family I had within here to there. So when my mom passed, like, I don't have no family, you know what I'm saying? So, and that was when I was 18. My mom passed when I was 18 years old. So Victoria, she's driving and she don't want to get, you know what I mean? She walked me in there, and when she walked me into Alabama, into Birmingham County Jail, it's right next to the Sheridan. The Sheridan is across the street from Birmingham County Jail. The black lady, as soon as you come in there, it's a black lady. A white sheriff come out, he just walking past. That's the only white man I seen. Everybody else black. So when I said, I'm here to turn myself in, I got a warrant. You know what I mean? I'm here to turn myself in, I got a warrant. Right? And she go back there and she come back out. She like, sweetie, you don't got no warrant. And my girl cousin like, yeah, he does. He got a warrant. I'm sure he got a warrant. So she go back there again. She come back like, no, nothing showing up, baby. Just go ahead and go on. She like, baby, just go ahead and go on, right? And I'm like, nah. So the white cop comes out. The sheriff come out. He like, it's saying you don't have no warrant, but I'm gonna run. He did a big one. It's two types of warrant. I don't know much about the warrant system, but he didn't. I guess he didn't do a thorough one that time. They didn't do it the first two times, because I could have just walked out. But me trying to be such a good Negro, you know what I mean? He come back. He said, "Yeah, they want you out of California." He said, "Yeah, they want you out of California. Yeah, you popped up." I was like, "Yeah, man, I ain't gonna be no trouble." He was like, "No," he was like, you know what I mean? And the lady was like, oh, I'm sorry. She was like, I'm sorry, gotta keep you. And my girl cousin's like, you need anything? You know, so I'm like, no, I'm cool, I'm gonna be all right. I'm thinking they gonna hurry up and expedite me. Man, I'm up in that county jail for like 90 days. And they not supposed to keep you that long. They supposed to let me go. If California don't show up at a certain day, they gotta let me go. So that's where everybody in Alabama, like, they keeping you for a long time. Like, they don't listen. You never been locked up. Everybody keeps saying the worst place to be locked up is LA County Jail. Yeah, if you want to be a kid and fight all day, you know what I mean? If you want to be a kid and fight all day, get into it with the police, see some scandal, yeah, all that is what it is. It's more homeless people that become active, and a lot of hoods, like they homeless homies that was running around that can fight and got hands, they accept them back when they be in the county, but we ain't gonna talk about that. When you down south, you only get oatmeal for breakfast. You don't get eggs, grits. You get oatmeal, cereal for breakfast. That's it. And if you over 25, you don't get a nourishing meal. You don't get food for nourishment. They just barely give you enough to keep you breathing. You know what I mean? So your dinner might be something different. You might get spaghetti for dinner. You might get a hamburger for dinner, you know what I'm saying? But as far as a nourishing meal, that's only for like 25 and under. You don't get a nourishing meal. And every day, your breakfast is oatmeal. It don't change. You don't get like eggs Benedict and sausage. Like in California, you get a grand slam. Dollar pancakes, sausage, eggs, that's breakfast. And an apple juice and a milk. You know what I'm saying? And some grits on the side. Not in Alabama, you don't. You get oatmeal every day, not changing every day. Oatmeal every day. It's not grits, it's oatmeal every day. And if you under 25, you don't get a cookie in your lunch. You get the sandwich and that's it. You don't get nothing else. I was a vegetarian for a short period of time. So can you imagine already starving, and then the food come in? I can barely. Them niggas was tripping off of me because I had a little size, and they're like, "How the hell you so big and you don't eat meat?" That was the weirdest shit to him. And my tattoos was even weirder to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn. So it was a lot of folks. You know what I mean? It was a lot of disciples, and a lot of disciples like got like a Hoover type. They do little tricks and antics and theatrics, but they disciples. And then some of they crippin', they kind of like intertwined it with some disciplism. You know what I mean? And then you had different people from different, like my boy was white boy from the Inslee Projects. He was in there for murder. You know what I mean? He was from Inslee. White boy was a good dude, you know what I mean? To my knowledge, I don't know about nothing dirty, you know what I mean? I was in general population, but I was in high security. I was wondering for somebody who didn't do nothing, they put me with high security cats. So I was like, I know why they did it, you know what I'm saying? I kind of knew why they did it, you know what I mean? I know why. I'm not going to deny I didn't know why, but I didn't do nothing. You got to at least let somebody do something before you put them in a maximum security place. Give a nigga the benefit of the doubt. You know, let me show you that I know how to behave myself so I can, you know what I mean? That's not how that worked. They like, we not taking no chances, and stuck me somewhere else. And then after they stick you there, they come back and be like, you know what, like, you know, we don't have nowhere to really put you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to put you here. But ask me, my point I'm going with this is, there was 2 Mexicans in that whole county jail. And that's not how jail's supposed to be. I'm not saying that Mexicans are supposed to be in jail, but I'm from California. So I am not used to seeing nothing like that. There was more white boys in there than Mexicans. And the white boys really don't be having a problem with blacks like that, but white boys feel like they had to stick up for themselves against blacks, but blacks outnumber everybody like 5-3, like 5-1. Like when I walked in there, it was 1 white boy, no Mexicans, everybody black, including myself. You had the white dude sailed up with the black dude. I was like, that's bad business. That ain't even supposed to be like that. In California, that don't work unless you're in protective custody. That's the only time you'll house a black person with a white person, unless that white person from a black gang. You know what I'm saying? The white person got to be from a black gang in order to have a black cellmate. And that's not going to work. The white race is going to try to kill him. The white race is going to try to kill that white dude. He can't really, he's going to end up leaving that prison eventually. So their whole system is totally different, and that's why y'all make the statements that y'all really make. Y'all got that, you know what I'm saying? But far as Mexicans painting us, that's a Southern California thing. That is not an up north thing. It's not all of California. Oakland, Vallejo, the Bay Area, Frisco, Central California, those places are up north. Southern California is where you're going to get the fuckery and the weird shit, you know what I mean? And the nostalgia and the attitudes, you know what I mean? You're not going to get that. You don't get it in Texas because it's not the same. That's just the Southern California politic that you guys misinterpret and you take it wrong. You guys be like, oh man, they painting y'all ass. That's why y'all running from down there. The truth, the reason why a lot of black people are relocating is because they can't afford to live in California. See, nobody gets on here and tell you that they can barely afford rent. And it's cheaper in Texas. It's cheaper in Arizona. If they could keep their job in California and live in Arizona and get to work, they would. It's so bad that Mexico itself got people moving to San Diego, living in Mexico and working in San Diego. Did you know that's how poor people really are? The rent in Mexico is like $500 for a nice place. It's $500 a month for a really, really nice place. You can get a house for $1,000 a month. A really big, nice house. And live in Baja, California. You can live in Baja, Mexico. Baja and all those places off in Mexico. You can, for $1,000 a month, you got a lot of money to them. And work in San Diego and then just drive over the border to go home. That's why we flooding the South, and that's why we flooding the Midwest. It ain't because we being slaughtered or murdered by a certain nationality. That's weird. But Southern Mexicans aren't welcome in other places. They have to be paisas if they go to other places. You know what a paisa is? Like a ranchero, a common Mexican, just a common the cowboy Mexican, the one that can, you know what I mean? The rancheros, those are considered paisas. But Chicanos wise and Southside wise, they can't just go live in Texas comfortably. They can't just go to New Mexico and live comfortably because there's entities there that don't get along with them. Even the motorcycle gangs, that the banditos and all them, they not friends with them dudes. So you got Tango Blast, Banditos, the Texas Syndicate, the New Mexican Mafia. All of that stuff don't get along with them dudes. Aztecs, them dudes aren't cool with them. They don't have an alliance with them. You got to Google some of this shit. You'll realize that, hey, they don't get along with these dudes. That's why they're where they're at. You know what I mean? When you stop banging, then you can maneuver a little bit better. But once you belong to certain organizations or disorganizations, you don't know what's following you and what's not following you. So if somebody was to hit me up in Walmart, I don't know if this person is tied to some people from my organization. So if I was to tell him, no, I'm not from nothing, and it was something that was inside where they wanted to know if I was claiming, if I was still a part of whatever it was, that's why you still sometimes say, that's why a lot of people still be like, yeah, I still, I'm from over here. Because we don't know who's connected to who. It's hard to get. You got to. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy lifestyle to just get rid of. It's bullshit, but it follows you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, when I moved 1,000 miles away from this stuff, but you never know who's connected to who all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, homie, where you from? Why you ask? Oh, man, because my people is such and such. Oh, man, see, he related to such and such in there. Yeah, I saw your tattoos. Yeah, and then, my cousin got the same stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Heck yeah, I just talked to that fool the other day. Like, he's really my cousin. And see, you know what I'm saying? Had I not said nowhere and he ran a background check on me and I'm dirty, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the street politics. But as far as how Southsiders maneuver, they really don't leave the West Coast like that. I mean, really born and raised from here and going somewhere else, it don't work that way for them. So when you get to Texas and it's a whole bunch of Mexican girls and you like, these Mexican girls ain't mean. These Mexican girls ain't mean. They're not like giving you attitude like, nigga, like, you're a nigga. Like, I ain't allowed to date a nigga. Like, they're not giving you attitude like that because, like, their dad and them are Tango Blast. Their dad is them Tango. Like, a lot of my cousins are Tango, and then my brother, my other uncles, they're Tango Blast, and I got cousins from Texas Syndicate, and my mom and them, they're Christians. You know what I mean? They're from Juarez, but we moved to Texas, and you know what I mean? It's not the same. So you don't get the same, you know what I mean? Here's a shitload of Mexicans from Texas, like, you know what I mean? Hey, man, like, let me try them chilies you just put on there. Those are ghost peppers, fool. Those are ghost peppers, man. Them ghost peppers, man. Yo, you gonna try it? Come on and try these ghost peppers. You know what I mean? And they just sitting there chilling and doing it big. You know what I mean? It's not the same. You see what I'm saying? So, like, let's clear all of that type of shit up real quick. You know what I mean? But being down there, maybe I wasn't there long enough, but I was there from winter to summer. I seen a total of, I asked the sheriff, and I don't know if I said this, but I said this on my Facebook Live one time, long time old years ago. That white sheriff said he was straight up, because he was a youngster too. He was younger than I was. I'm in Birmingham County Jail. I said, hey man, people keep asking me, am I Cuban or Puerto Rican? They beef with Cubans and Puerto Ricans. Like Disciples, they don't get along with Puerto Ricans. They don't get along with the Latin Kings. Like Trinitarios and Latin Kings, they don't get along with them. Like Disciples beef with the Five. You know what I mean? How did old boy teach me how to throw that up? He taught me how to throw it up like, it's like this. Because this pinky denies me. It's like this. It's the 5. Like, here's the 5. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna throw it up like that, dude. This is the 5. Like, you know, from the 5. Like, bam. Like, he like, you know what I mean? 5 up. Like, bam. Like bam. He taught me each point means something. Bloods, Latin Kings, Trinis, and different stuff like that don't get along with the disciples. So they kept asking, because, you know what I mean, the way I am is I'm different. Like, are you Puerto Rican or Cuban? You know what I mean? Because you kind of like, nah, be around Mexicans. Excuse my language. Be around a lot of Mexicans, man. In California, like, like, yeah. But see, I realized they don't get along with the Latin Kings, and being a Latin King is something. You have kingism. Kingism is a way of life. You have a code of conduct. It's part of kingism. Now, the criminality part, anytime criminality is criminality is the bad shit. But how you conduct yourself is a part of their rules, regulations, and whatnot. Kingism. You know what I mean? How you treat your woman, how you treat a woman, how you talk to a woman, how you deal with a woman, how you deal with kids, how you are to the kids. That hits the community. You see what I'm saying? A cultural structure. You know what I mean? For the Latino, for the not the Chicano, but the Latino, because they see themselves as different from Chicanos. You know what I mean? It's bloodism. You know what I'm saying? They the 5. Like, you know what I mean? If you go up to a Latin King and be like, you know what I mean? Like, hit him like that, like, what's happening, blood? You're like, they do their thing, you know what I mean? Bam, amor de rey. You know what I mean? Like, bam, amor de rey. You know what I mean? What's happening? You know what I mean? Shit, Cali, man, you talk to me, man. What's happening, man? You good? I need something, man. You know, my shit just jammed up and broke on me, and I don't have nothing to hold me down. Say less. Say less, my boy. You know what I mean? And then you got Trinitarios, you know what I mean? Dominicans, which consists mostly of Cubans and Dominicans. That's why they was all like, you know, kind of like, you Puerto Rican, you Cuban? Because you kind of like, because I could speak Spanish and whatnot. There was only like 4 Mexicans. Only 2 of them was where I was at. The other 2 was somewhere else. But I asked the officer, because, you know what I mean? I said, where all the Mexicans at? He said, Mexicans? He said, in here, you're not going to find too many Mexicans in here. We really don't want them here. We don't want what you guys got down there, down here. He said that shit just like that. I'm offended because my daughter's half. I'm not going to hate one half of my child. I have no hatred towards those people. I think they have some of the most beautiful women, a beautiful culture. But, you know, I'm black. There's no doubt. My skin is black. You know what I mean? No matter what. If you take a lion from Africa and raise it in Mexico, doesn't make it a Mexican lion. It's still an African lion. It's just in Mexico. Don't get it confused. If you took an African zebra and raised it in Mexico, like took a baby zebra and raised it in Mexico, it's not a Mexican zebra. It's still an African zebra being raised in Mexico. Don't get it twisted. I'm black. You know what I mean? I just speak Spanish because of where I'm being raised. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. So I looked at the cop, man, and I was just more in shock. You know what I mean? That he said it that deliberate, like, we don't want that here. And what he was meaning to say is he didn't want them there because he didn't want them taking all the jobs. He didn't want them controlling the jobs. He didn't want them taking over all the property. They don't want, as a collective, those people didn't want that there. And that's exactly what the hell he told me. That's exactly what he told me. I was like, where are all the Mexicans at, man? Because I said, where those 2 Mexican dudes that I came in with, where'd they go? Because they were essays. They were not like essays, but one of them was, and the other one had his head shaved. They were all we zero heads. They call us a zero head. We zero headed out. You know what I mean? And They're like, man, it's only like 4 of them here in the whole county jail. I was like, damn, 4 Mexicans in a county jail? That's never, and that's never. That's literally never, nigga. That's even, that. How often is that? What planet is that? To a person that's never left the state of California, that's a whole nother ball game. Can you imagine being a Mexican and going to a county jail and it's full of Negroes? And these niggas is on, these disciple niggas, you got Bloods and all that in there. It was some Crips in there, but you gonna be like, you a real Crip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you from Cali, boom, like, you know what I mean? They gonna test your knowledge. You know what I mean? And once you, hey man, how y'all doing shit? The East Coast has started, what was it? Raymond Washington did this, and oh shit, you know what I mean? This and this and that. The Crit, they gonna latch on to you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna latch on to you. Now, you know how jail works. You either gonna stab somebody or knock somebody out. Those are the only way to really deal with your problems in there. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, I'm gonna leave it alone and walk away. That's not a place you can leave problems alone and walk away from it. They expect violence, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody try to punk you, it has to be answered in violence. Because down south, I didn't see any homosexuality in the county jail. You know what I'm saying? But probably, you know, the ones that know when been to the pen and back and forth, they, you know what I mean? I wouldn't put nothing past them. And they were young niggas. I was around a whole bunch of youngsters. But I was in my 30s. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? They still consider me an older dude in my 30s. Like, hey man, you a G. Like, no, nigga, I am not a G. I'm older, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? You gotta earn that rank. You can't just call yourself a G, you have to earn that rank. You know, if you ain't never tried to kill nobody, never done nothing like that, you can't be much of a G in that lifestyle like that. You gotta get your hands dirty. You gotta, you know what I mean? You know, win some, lose some, and your gun gotta pop every now and then. You gotta stand for something, in other words. You know what I'm saying? You can't not get your hands dirty in order to be a G. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do a little dirt. You know what I mean? That's why that song by Anthony Hamilton, it hit a lot of people hard in the chest. You know what I mean? Coming from where I'm from, sometimes you get scared. Coming from where I'm from, sometimes you gotta do a little dirt. People used to play that loud, and you probably, now you know why it was so loud. Cause you gotta do a little dirt. Coming from where I'm from. Sometimes I get scared. Coming from where I'm from. And down south, it's not the same. The police situation is not the same. When I went into that county jail, there was a black woman right there. More black people, and then she wasn't even gonna take me at intake. So y'all lighten up on us a little bit down there, man. We brothers. I mean, you don't want to be brothers, that's fine. But goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be that divided. Don't be so divided to where a piece of chicken separate us. You know what I'm saying? You hate me. We hate each other that much. You know what I'm saying? We hate each other that much. But the truth of the matter is, man, y'all wrong. You know what I mean? When you get arrested down here, you know, especially you Southern brothers, y'all kind of feel some kind of way about Mexicans already because y'all don't really have none. You know what I'm saying? So you looking at it all wrong. So when you get pulled over, it's probably gonna be a whole bunch of Mexican officers, and you got an attitude with them. You know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about your attitude, and then when they put you in the county jail, you gonna want to know. You gonna know why. You know what I'm saying? You gonna want to know. You know why now. Y'all, you know, it's not like being pulled over by black people. What you gonna say to some blacks? Why you harassing me? It's because I'm black, ain't I? And this nigga 3 shades darker than your ass. These cops is blacker than you. Like, when I was down south, I was like, my cousin is the sheriff. In Union Springs, remember my cousin told you my cousin Victoria, my uncle, his family was Swansons and Smiths. They are the sheriffs. So I'm not lying to you about nothing. So I'm literally in that town. I was jogging. I used to be at the Y boxing. Boom, boom, boom. I used to be up in the YMCA, like just hitting the iron. They got real iron in they Y. I'll be in the, guess what? I'll be in that Y at 2 in the morning. My cousin Victoria and Kimberly take me over there. It's like 2 in the morning. And my cousin like, nigga, what the hell is you doing up in there like that? I was in there hitting that bag, boom, boom, boom. And I didn't have no gloves. I used to be skinning the skin off of my knuckles. So when I come back, I don't have no skin on my knuckles. And my cousin's like, the fuck wrong with you? I had to let my hands heal up. But she was like, you better stop hitting that bag. And she said, it's a camera in there. The camera go over to the system. So they watching me inside of the YMCA all that time. I didn't see the camera and shit. I went in there and got the bam, doing all kinds of techniques to the bag, bam, 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 bam. They want you to teach after that. They want you to teach, like, hey, teach. You know what I'm saying? So I taught my cousin, he had got good grades. I taught him some Asian elbow techniques that I had got from my people from Cambodia and Laos. Some of them knew kickboxing, some of them knew martial arts for real. Like, it's good to have a real teacher from those places. You know what I'm saying? So I taught my cousin some elbow technique and something else. And I hope that he didn't do it to none of them niggas down there, because they for damn sure gonna shoot your ass. If he locked up with it, if he get out with it, if he locked it up, like if my cousin shook it with anybody down there, I'm quite sure he split whoever that was open. And yeah, I taught him a couple of grappling techniques. Like, I think my cousin, because Lil Stiller said something about it to me. You know what I mean? He like, man, got Tay shot. I was like, I didn't get Tay shot. How? He was like, man, that nigga whooping people ass. Tay ain't no little bitty ass dude. You know what I'm saying? He ended up being like a couple of feet, like 6 feet something, and a couple of 100 pounds, but he can move. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I only taught it to him because you get good grades, you get, you know what I mean? I gave him pieces of a puzzle. You know what I mean? And if I would have stayed there, come on, let's teach you some more shit. But he probably choked somebody up real good, and that nigga came back and shot his ass up. You know, because I tightened him up. You know what I'm saying? I got him together, but I explained it, and it became a part of him. I seen the light go on in his eyes, like, oh, because now he put all his tools with what I taught him. But he's only like about 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? But if he elbowed anybody like in the head or the face with that thing, like what I showed him, yeah, I'm quite sure there's somebody gonna go get a gun and come back and shoot you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that shit wasn't for, I taught him, you know, things that get you out the way. I didn't teach him nothing to play with you. If you gotta use it, get him out the way. You know what I'm saying? Whoever leaving, he got to his feet and went and got what he had, he more likely definitely gonna shoot you. Cause I taught him some grappling shit. He was like, damn, you fast, huh? Cause he called me Cousin Butchie. You know what I mean? My other cousin, Seppi, his name is Giuseppe Piccola. He's half Italian and half black. Giuseppe Piccola is my cousin. That nigga, I couldn't teach him nothing. That little nigga said, fuck my mama, right in front of everybody. Fuck you, you bitch. You bitch. You a bitch. And fuck your mama. I was like, man, what? Man, I stepped forward. Stiller's like, hey. Stiller whooped his ass. Stiller got him together, but my girl cousin, he said, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, I love you now. Like you tell Keith, love Victoria. Mama, this nigga, I don't like this nigga. He be all up under you. She was like, that is my cousin. Y'all raised together. I always don't be paying Butchie no mind. I don't be up under her. She just be next to me like, Butchie, he jealous. Don't pay him no attention. That nigga's bad. That nigga's legit bad. But he was the lightest, skinnedest person in that community. He was the only mixed nigga in that community. For 2 cities, he's one of the only mixed niggas. Eufaula and Union Springs, Giuseppe Piccola is the only mixed nigga right up in there. It wasn't nobody else unless he was gonna have a baby. Or if you go get a white girl and bring her back and get her pregnant, that's the only mixed nigga right there. Swanson's and Smiths. I had a job down there. I did, what do you call that, those We would build stairs for mobile homes, for trailers. Because it's a lot of people on trailers, double wide trailers. We would build the stairs for you and put your toilets in. So I had a job down there. I was down there that long. So you brothers, man, lighten up on us, man. You know what I mean? Mexicans ain't painting us like that. It's just an issue on the Southern California side of things, not on the Northern California thing. It's not a whole California thing where it's a problem. That's the Southern California situation. It's the Southern California ignorance. That's what it is. It's the Southern California bullshit. It's not like you ever been to Fresno? Like a lot of people from Southern California, they don't go to Fresno. Paisas go to Fresno. Paisas can travel freely. The rancheros, the Mexicans, the ones that wear the cowboy boots. And I'm gonna tell you a hell of an outfit for a black man. And this is when I was a youngster, like 14, 15, getting the game. Get the game from the plug. Ostrich skin boots with the ostrich skin belt with the Versace shirt. Nigga, that's the outfit right there. I got it from a Mexican. The plug wore that shit to school. He was in the 12th grade. The plug is cool. It's multiple plugs. Them motherfuckers, the hat $600, the hat $300-$400. Shirt $400, $500. You know what I mean? Camise. You know what I mean? Pantaloons, you know what I mean? 110, 180. Boots, $1,200. $1,200 boots, Mando. Ostrich, me, I'm an ostrich gator nigga. Or you know, ostrich gator, hell of a combination. Ostrich gator boot, that's a good $1,200, $1,300. With the belt to go with it, whoa, shit. Then you got the Versace shirt. You come through that thing, man, boy. If balling ain't your name, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? And you get it from the Paisa. You know what I mean? You know, big old truck, wheels. You know what I mean? Whatever he feels. You know what I'm saying? It's his world. Roosters in their yard. They had the roosters chained to the ground. You got to put one rooster over here and another rooster. You could put knives on their feet. You know what I mean? A big old pigeon coop in the back. You ever had neighbors that had geeses? A geese is an alarm. You know a geese and goose. They go. If you walk past, they don't say nothing. But if you stop at the gate, they in the back guard going. And it's so loud, it's irritating, it wake you up. So can't nobody go in the back and go get chickens out the chicken coop. Can't nothing go back there without them. You got to shut them geese up before you do anything to that house. They gonna go off immediately. And that's, Mexicans know that. You know what I'm saying? You got to grow up around the right people. You know what I'm saying? You know, like literally, like certain houses, man. My first kilos I've ever seen, right? One of my neighbors across the fence. They watched me, you know, they knew my mama already because I moved to my mama's house. You know what I mean? I know my father. Boom. I had a pet bull puppy. It was a brindle with white patches. It was a girl. I came up on her. I got her from my Damu cousin. Came up on her and I'm walking her, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to convince my mama to let me keep her. Because I got a red nose already. But this is a puppy. I'm going to breed. Once she gets so big, I'm finna lock them together. I can't even get down the street without all the Mexicans trying to get her from me. So I'm like, damn, man, I can't even walk down the street with your ass. You know what I mean? I mean, every other car, let me buy her, let me get her, let me this and this and that. But my neighbor like, hey, Butch, let me get that dog. Let me buy that dog. I'm like, no, man, I can't even keep her. Like, he's like, come on, Butch. He's like, he was going to give me some weight for her and some money. I'm like, damn. So he wanted to give me like a quarter chicken for her. I'm like, that's too much. I'm like, let me think about it, man. I'll just give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Let me think about it. He was like, all right, come with me, let's go somewhere. Me and the dog? He was like, yeah, come with me around the corner, I'll give you some money. He had this big ass thing, looked like a truck tire. It looked like a wheel. It was a wheel, but it was the size of like a truck tire. It smelled weird. It smelled weird because it was freshly cooked cocaine. It was still kind of wet. And I'm like, man, it smells funny. I'm like, man, I look back there. We get around the corner. He dropping it off. You know what I'm saying? He's dropping it off around the corner because we literally only going around the corner where I was going anyway. I'm like, that's a lot of yip. Nigga, it was about a foot high and the size of a truck tire, a wheel. Freshly cooked coke. If you know anything about cocaine, you ever cook some coke for yourself, you know what it smelled like. So I was like, hey, what you got back here? And I'm legit about 16, 17. I'm going on 17. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's a lot of work, nigga. Excuse my language. Now, out of that truck tire, I had 2 slices of that wheel that was about, that's under a foot. That's like 9 inches. 9 inches long, a foot high. A foot high, 9 by 12 of coke. A 9 by 12 hunk of coke before. Twice. When I was a kid, guess how much an ounce of coke was? For me, like maybe $310. And they always put more in more with it. Like, here's the zone. We call ounces zones in my era. And then like a half ounce of dust and dubs and crumbs. So I sold dope for school clothes. I didn't sell dope to shit on nobody. I sold dope. My mama stopped buying my school clothes when I was in the 10th grade. She no longer bought my school clothes. But she did buy me the clothes that I did want. That was the difference. My mama bought me what she could afford, but she bought the clothes that I wanted that she could afford. So I was always happy when my mama took me school shopping. I didn't come up short. I didn't get laughed and teased. It was the reason I didn't get laughed and teased, but I didn't get laughed and teased or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I sold dope literally for school clothes. You know what I mean? And for food after school. Like for food after school, you know what I'm saying? I didn't shit on people, but just you shining shits on people. People gonna take things the way they want to take it, and then you be forced to have to explain it. And a lot of people feel that I don't have to explain nothing to you. Did that answer your question? That's just the mentality of your people. That's the mentality of your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't consider yourself shitting on people. They consider it as you shitting on people. And then you have to explain to them where you coming from so it eases their ego or their mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why black people are like that, but we are. You know what I mean? But I didn't never sell no dope with intentions to compete, to outball somebody. Like, nigga, I'm finna buy this new lowrider, nigga, and I'm finna shit on all these niggas. I ain't never said that not one time in my whole life. Now, there was times where when, like I told you, I love hip hop. When it came to battling, yeah, I wanted to shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Nigga, I'm hard as hell. Nigga, I'm hard as hell. Nigga, I don't know nothing else. You know what I mean? Now, that's the only time I thought about actually, like, literally shitting on you or in a fisticuff, you know what I mean? Or playing ball, like, I'm gonna shut this nigga down in defense. I'm gonna shut this nigga down. But, like, as far as, like, balling and shit, I think that's probably why I never excelled in the dope game. Because I never had that aggressive competition spirit. I should have had that spirit like with boxing, put it towards dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? With the hip hop shit and serving people, put it towards dope. Like, you know what I mean? I'm finna shit on all these niggas when I pull this lowrider out. I wanted a lowrider, but I didn't want to shit on people. Make sense? Like, I always wanted a champagne color. Like, where I live at, like where I was living at and where I be at, there was niggas who had lowriders, but they wasn't my age and having lowriders. It was only certain niggas that was young and had, those niggas actually stand out a little bit more different. Like a young nigga having a whole lot of bread, that says something about a young man. Like, I would have been like 16 with a lowrider, like literally 16 with a lowrider, chrome and gold whips, peanut butter interior, champagne paint, you know what I'm saying, with two 12s in the back. You doing a whole lot for a 16-year-old, but I didn't really look at it like that. And a lot of people like, slow your roll. But they didn't understand I'm not trying to shit on nobody. I just want one. Yeah, but my people, they didn't like especially my people, they didn't like that at all. Like, they were like, nigga, no, nigga, don't you buy no lowrider, my nigga. Because they kept thinking people were going to set me up and kill me for it. And I didn't realize that when I bought my first pair of Daytons, it had a bullet hole in the rim. My cousin from Vidals Hoover, he had some Daytons. I gave him an ounce for some Daytons. He gave me 5 15/8s. And I was going to swap the 15/8s for 13/7s. People kept saying, get the 14-inch ones, but now I want 13/7s. 13/7s make a coupe slide. You can slide, you put a 83 coupe, 84 coupe, 89 coupe, a coupe de ville, 2-door on some 13/7s, and you can swing the ass. That's what I used to want to do, swing the ass on the coupe or the Brougham. But I was doing too much, like you doing way too much. You know what I'm saying? So when I was putting the rims in my Cadillac, because I had an 81 Brougham, you know what I mean? I was 19 at this time, going on 20. It had a bullet hole in the rim, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit. And it was a universal adapter 15/8 Daytonas. So I had to find somebody who had like a SS or a IROC or some, you know, a Grand National or something you could put those on. Because those aren't for like Cadillacs, Cutlasses, things like that. Now they can be for like the Cutlass, the T-type, or the Buick, you know what I'm saying? But no, I don't want so I had to swap those for 13/7s. I ended up getting my baby mama shot me. I ended up going to the hospital. I had to slang those whips, you know what I mean? I slung them for like, I think I got like 800 or 900 for those. You know what I mean? I forgot who bought them. Matter of fact, if I ain't mistaken, it was Lil E-Man who bought them. Somebody bought them for like $800, $809. You know what I mean? I had to heal from the gunshot. My girl's dad had the dope, so I had to go get my dope from him, which was the shamefulest shit that ever happened to me. He wasn't mad at me though, you know what I mean? He wasn't really mad at me at all. I was so ashamed, you know what I mean? Because that's dealing with another culture. It's not like dealing with a brother. He's a Mexican man, you know what I mean? He had my dope. And he didn't pinch the sack. He didn't even fuck with it. But everybody knew I had dope. Like the essays, like, because they related to essays. You know, you got just regular Mexicans, just regular people, and then you got essays. They were all family. But he had my dope, and I told her, like, you know, if he got my dope, just let him keep it. Fuck it. I'm shot. I'm going in the house. She's like, no, you got to. My dad said he want to give it to you. He didn't want me to have it. I'm like, why would you give it to your dad? You know what I'm saying? So now I got to look this man in his eye and tell him, like, I got dope around your daughter. I got dope around my kid, your grandkid. No, I'm ashamed about that. But the reason I got the dope is because I had to pay the rent. We had got a 3-day notice, so I pulled a fast one and I robbed somebody. I'm not gonna tell you what hood he was from, and it was wrong. It was very wrong. And when I say it was very wrong, there was instant karma after that, because I robbed somebody I knew, but I knew he had the work. That's why I robbed him. But it was somebody who technically never done nothing to me. And he gave me so much dope based on the fact that he thought, you know what I mean, that I was gonna come correct. Like, you know what I mean? He showed up with the plug and hopped out. The plug was parked somewhere else. I didn't even pay attention to that. And I robbed him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I tripped out. I paid the price for it, but I did come up. You know what I mean? And I had to get my dope back from my girl's father. Like, you know what I mean? And he had all of it there. As soon as he gave it back, I got rid of it. So no more dope at the house, no more none of that. I was 19. So if you run my background check, you don't see any drug charges, because I don't never have dope like that. I can honestly say I'm not much of a dope dealer. Make sense? Make sense? The lesson in all of this is, if you believe in chosen ones, you a damn fool. If you're not retarded, when I say retarded, you weren't born with the ability to speak. You weren't born with the ability to hear what other people say so you can communicate. That's handicapped, disabled, retarded, mentally retarded. Those are things that some people were not blessed with, are not the gifts that they have other gifts. They have other gifts. But if you were blessed with the ability to move all your fingers, have an orgasm, create kids, communicate, listen, and reciprocate feelings and comprehend and can see, hear, and taste, you are blessed. God said there will be another messenger. We keep killing the messenger every time. We never know who that messenger is going to be. We don't know who that light's going to be. But if you keep killing them, we'll never get to know. You ever seen that movie? And I'm going to say this before, this is the last thing I'm going to say. It's a movie called The Last Airbender. The Last Airbender was the little he was born of the air nomad tribe, the air nomads. They were air monks. They master air because you have fire, water, earth, air. He was air. And the avatar is born in every tribe. But you know what I'm saying? But if you kill him or capture him, he can't change the world. The avatar's job is to create world peace. He's going to bring the avatar, the more he lives, it brings world peace. And they don't want him to be born. You know what I mean? They don't want him, so they capture him. Every time he's born, he gets captured, or you wipe out each tribe. So they knew that the air nomads was gonna. His next place is gonna be the air nomads. So the next avatar that's gonna be born, it will be out of the air nomads, because the last one was out of the water tribe. So they tried to wipe out all of them, and he lived. He was the only one of his kind, and they thought they killed all of them. His job is to bring world peace. It's the same with us. We keep killing each other and keep killing each other. The avatar can't be born to bring about the change. So, the truth of the matter is, I'm talking a lot of power to my people. Now, can you imagine just getting fucked up by a bunch of black people? Imagine what it would be like to be another race and have to deal with that powerful ass group of black people. People call the police on me a lot. But they call them on me after they started the shit. I hate those kind of people. And I don't hate nobody. I believe if you hate, then you're going to have terrible luck. And you're going to have terrible luck, and your life is going to be really bad. Your life is going to be really, really bad, and you're going to have terrible luck. So I don't really hate. But people that start shit and then call the cops, I fucking hate them. That shit just makes me even more angry. I rarely get angry. It just makes me it makes me so furious I could care less what the outcome gonna be. Just as long as I hurt as many of them as possible and much bloodshed, pieces of flesh, whatever the case may be. But I despise them type of people. I don't want them living. I hate them. I hate those kind of people. I can't stand them kind of people. I wish God can explain to me why they're here. I hate them. I hate the females. I hate the males. I usually don't include females in those type of situations. But I hate the female too. I hate them motherfuckers. I despise them. I hate them. I hate them. You like to start shit and then call the police afterwards. And they usually do it to black people. I hate them.
So to all you young niggas, man, y'all be catching fades. You want to know the difference between my generation and your generation? We got down with whoever wanted to get down, but we usually got down with people our size. But we didn't fight old people. We didn't fight, like, fighting a 50-year-old nigga, that was out. Especially when he was from a hood. Like, we didn't jump out and, like, you know, I'm finna, unless the old nigga was on some bullshit time. Like, the old nigga drunk, he just on some bullshit, and he trying to knock you out, then you got down with the nigga. But just like some old niggas, like some nigga got gray hair. And he was from somewhere, beef from over there in Greenwich. I ain't tripping, OG, what's happening with you? Oh, man, shit, man, you know what I mean? He ain't tripping, you ain't tripping. But if he tripping, then you got to do what you got to do. He ain't tripping. And we just didn't press old people. You know what I mean? Because you had to be like a real bitch inside to do some weird shit like that. You know what I mean? And you got to learn the concept of, we was always strapped all the time. So we didn't run and go get a gun because we was always strapped all the time. My era is different. See, my era is, we listen to music like, the jealous got me strapped. I keep my hand on my gun because they got me on the run. You know what I mean? I always got my street. It's like my American Express. I never leave home without it. Those are the type of songs we listen to. I never leave the house without it. You know what I mean? It's like my American Express. I never leave I never leave my house without it. Well, the jealous got me strapped. I keep my hand on my gun because they got me on the run. You know what I mean? I take it everywhere I go. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Those are the type of songs we listen to. Now you niggas be sitting there whining and complaining. Oh man, niggas always got a gun. Well, shit, we never left the house without it in my era. What was our movies compared to y'all movies? Cause y'all don't make movies like our movies. We had Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. In Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood, did you ever see them run and go get guns? No, because they always had their guns on them. Remember in Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube always had a gun on him. He had a 45 1911. And it was always on him. The whole movie, he never put that gun up and then ran and went to go get it. Like, oh man, here come that car. Let me run and go get it. He never did that. Not one time did he do that. Because it was either behind him or it was under his shirt. But he always had that gun on him. Now let's go to Menace to Society. Remember Kane? Kane wasn't even no gang member like that. He was just selling dope, trying to survive in the Nickersons. I mean, in the Grape Street projects. Living in the projects. My bad. He wasn't not in the Nickersons. He had a gun. Everywhere he went, he was a regular person. Now, who was he hanging out with? That was the ruthless dude. Old Dog, he introduced us to the Glock. Old Dog kept that Glock. He had a Glock everywhere he went. The beginning of Menace to Society, what happened? Old Dog shot the Asian lady and the Asian dude in the store. Remember when he shot him? What'd you say about my mama? And then he robbed him and killed him. Soon as the movie came on. That was Old Dog. He always had a strap everywhere he went. So we don't run and go get guns. We keep them on us. Now, why you don't have one, that's your own personal fear of whatever the hell you got going on in life. But what I do know is, you go to Arizona, everybody got a gun. You go to New Mexico, everybody got a gun. You go to Texas, everybody's got a gun. I lived down south. Every truck had a rifle in it. All the women got guns. All the women got guns. They had a bonnet on, they had a slides on, or they Crocs, and it's a beauty shop everywhere you go down there, and they riding around strapped. Them females riding around strapped, and they strapped for rape. It's a lot of rape going on down there. They don't talk about it, but it's a shit ton of rape go down there. Rape go down a lot down there. You can get raped. And they will rape a man too down there. They will climb through your window of your apartment and rape you. So when you're a single mom and you move into them apartments down there, they know not to leave a window open. Or you got to be a bad bitch. Like, you climb through this window if you want to, you're going to die, you're going to die. Climb your ass through this window. So it'd be a lot of pretty girls, and they're like, shit, you climb through this window, you're going to die. and they big old booties, got their Crocs on, they hair, and they be white girls that got black kids. It'd be whatever it is. It's a lot of that down there, but them women be strapped. So if you a motherfucker that got a complaint about people and guns, man, it's just you. A lot of times you probably just be on some bitch time, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Own up, man up. You know what I'm saying? You don't run around beating up old folks. We don't punch down on people. That's not where you get your respect at. We don't punch down on people. You know what I mean? I don't run around picking fades on people smaller than me. That don't make sense. Now, if you started some shit and you small and you on some bullshit time, yeah, I mean, you left me no choice. But you don't punch. The people that punch down on people, you're going to get shot eventually. You do know that, right? Because that's how people are raised to eradicate your kind. People are raised to kill people like you. You punch down on people. Like a nigga that constantly beat up women. I've only fought one woman. That was my baby mama. I had to fight her. She was gonna tear my face up I was okay with her tearing my face up at first. Until like I'm tired of your mess. And she was never leaving me alone. The only time she spent away from me is when I went to jail. It's the only time she wasn't with me. And when I say with me, she want to be with me, and it was not healthy. But I was young, and I didn't mind dealing with that situation. I was young. I was a teenager going into adulthood. Me and my child's mother was together from the time I was 16 to the time I was 25. From 16 to 25. And then when I went to staycation, you know where that's at, she was still writing me and sending me stuff. So altogether, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Say about 24, 25. My baby mama's still with me. We had our first child in 2000. July 27th. My daughter's birthday is July 27th. June 27th, my bad. June 27th, we all born right up in there. All of us, like on my mama's side. My mom and my uncle, we born on July 4th. My mom was born July 10th. My daughter is a Cancer with us. Like we all, the end of June, all of July. My daughter was born in 2000. Me and her been together from she's 2 years older than me, from the time I was 16 to 25. Yeah, we gonna do some fighting. Yeah, she gonna, hit me in the head. Yeah, we gonna square up. You know what I mean? Where was you at? Who was that texting? You know what I mean? Let me check your phone. Who is she? You know what I mean? Who is them niggas did you just do what you gonna lie to my face? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen basically because I'm young. Had I been more manlier, it wouldn't have happened. I'm blaming it. I was not manly at those times. I didn't have the knowledge that I had at that time because my brain was somewhere else. My brain was scatterbrained. I wasn't focused on manism yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I totally blame myself and take full responsibility. I wasn't very manly at that time. You know what I mean? Because the manly side, see, my lips is peeling. No, it's not herpes or none of that, man. So you got to clear all that up. Like this right here, people they don't know what it is, and a dumbass will say some shit. A troll, that's a cut. Yeah, that's a cut from fighting. You know what I mean? Mom, I'm not going to be pretty anymore. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to eat it off because it just doesn't look good on camera whatsoever. Well, we'll build on something. You know what I mean? But I never said it wasn't cool to fight. You know what I mean? I got my gloves right here. Matter of fact, tomorrow I gotta go train some more. I've been working on my kicks. And the reason I've been working on my kicks is because, you know, either I'm too much on the weights, and you know what I'm saying, too much on the weights, and you know what I'm saying. So my legs are always more powerful than your arms. Your arms shouldn't be more powerful than your legs. So I'm learning to switch it up. You know what I mean? But with the homies, cause I'm you know what I mean. I don't. Oh, keep your feet on the ground. You don't put your feet on nobody. Shit. I want my fade everything go. You know what I'm saying? I want it's everything go. You know what I mean? A lot of times niggas from certain, you know, you don't put your feet. You put your feet on me, and they take that shit really damn serious. Like this nigga's dead serious. This nigga's pissed. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want to be elbowed in the nose. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to be split open. You know what I mean? But what you dish out, you got to be willing to accept back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you 3 sneaky things I'm going to do if you stay to the end, you'd know. I'm going to jab you, I'm going to thumb you in the eye. Especially if you bigger than me. You bigger than me, I'm going to jab you, you know what I mean? Look at my jab. I'm going to thumb you in the eye. And once I see you do that, I'm going to go to work. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? When Holyfield fought, you know what I mean, Riddick Bowe, he was socking the shit out of Riddick Bowe. And Riddick Bowe was twice his size. Go watch that fight between Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, that first fight they had. Holyfield was squabbling, but Riddick Bowe did his thing. But Riddick Bowe cannot deny the punches that he took from Evander Holyfield. Because you could hear that shit from the camera. It was like, boom, 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 boom. That man Holyfield, I didn't know. I realized that, like, this man can box. Holyfield is a solid-ass boxer. Especially when he got down with Mike Tyson. To whoop Mike Tyson, you can't be no slouch. Either you going to cheat him or you going to beat him. One of the two. And Holyfield can squabble. That's no doubt. But Riddick Bowe won. But boy, did Holyfield rock his ass up. Holyfield rocked his ass up. I'm talking about rock your ass up. You know what I'm saying? So we don't turn down nothing, and you can keep lying about that and spinning the narratives and slandering, which is called smut, which you shouldn't, as a man, you shouldn't be smutting up another man. You kind of like a heifer, like an old prostitute, you know what I mean, that got her life together, and now you a nurse, or you do hair now, you know what I mean? You that type of nigga, you know, because that's very feminine to be that way. You know what I mean? I don't smut people up. People smut me up, I don't smut them up. You know, I don't do that. Because I know that you're actually supposed to get knocked down for that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe these policies are too harsh for you, but you like doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing, like just being an utter bitch of a dude. That's not good. That's not never been good. Like, it's not good. Somebody's got to show you you got to stop it. Like me, I don't do it. Like, you don't got to tell me to stop being a punk. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even trip. Like, people, oh man, you need a DP for what? I don't do that type of shit. So you don't have to do it, because I don't do it. Have you ever seen somebody that they don't like get a DP? Like, not everybody's liked. There's niggas from your hood that don't like you. They can't wait to really sock the dog shit out of you. You know what I mean? They can't really wait to do something to you. Something that really bad, something bad. But yeah, they can't do it. They got to go through channels. That's because you're a real member when they got to go through channels. When you keep coming around, they ain't done nothing because they got to go through channels. You, like, if they do something to you, they not going to be like no more. Like a good dude going bad, that happens. You know what I mean?
Some dudes be like, man, if I do something to him, I'm gonna go to jail for the rest of your life. If you keep your mouth shut, you won't. Why you running around telling people you did something to him? Just do it to him. If you don't tell nobody you did something to that dude, who gonna know you did it? Only the victim can tell on you, and we ain't doing that, is we? Like, you know, nobody's innocent here. I hope you're not attacking an innocent person, are you? Like a school teacher or a common working person, like a male person. Like, what are you doing out there? You know what I mean? Are you attacking like maintenance people that go home and take care of their family? You know what I mean? Are you attacking the mailman who don't bother nobody, that just helps? Are you know what I mean? What are you doing? You know, are you the preschool teacher, you hit her with a bat and raped her? You know, what kind of stuff are you doing to innocent people? What are you doing? Okay, this nigga's a common gang. This nigga's a gang member. That's, you know, he's a something. He has an identity of whatever criminality. And you did what you had to do. Like, you know, there should be repercussions between y'all. What the rest of society got to do with that? So then it's just an excuse for why you don't get down, you don't get cracking. You know what I mean? That's why the streets are so lame. The streets are terribly lame. The streets are terribly, terribly lame. The best job to have right now is a law enforcement job. And you make detective. Hopefully you make detective. You won't even have to work no more. All these snitch ass niggas, they gonna do your work for you. You could just sit at the desk and wear alligator shoes. You silk suits, Cartier glasses. You're a detective. You take fishing trips on property, all kinds of shit. Go to the police auctions and get Hellcats and Trackhawks. Because you guys get a discount on all that. You guys get the military and the law enforcement discount on property, all kinds of stuff. Those are the benefits of you protecting and serving. But the way things work so much now is they have enough teammates. They don't call them snitches, they call them teammates. They got teammates from every section that are real teammates that give them the answers to what happened to Keith around the corner. He already know who did what already. He's just going to get enough informants information to really seal the deal with Keith as the target. Everybody's saying Keith did it. Well, where's Keith at? The problem with Keith wasn't on the streets then. That's the only thing that could probably save Keith, is he wasn't even in the state or he was already locked up. But y'all done snitched on Keith already. Yeah, I don't know who hang out with them kind of people. My mama wouldn't let me come home at night if I hung out with those kind of people. You want to know why my mom was against snitching? It's a very simple answer. You want to know why my mom always told me and my mom and my whole family, my family is not the type of family you think. I come from a long line of ex-cons and drug addicts and some gang members, but it's a lot of women in my family. So being a tattletale is not cool. It was feminine. Like, mommy, he took my bike. He won't give me back my skateboard. How do you a normal parent would deal with this way? Oh, let him ride. You share your things. You share. And you're like, okay, you can ride my bike. That's the normal way. That's a good concept. But why you let him take your bike is what my people gonna say. Why you let him take your bike? Now I gotta go down here and I gotta go get your bike back. Give him back his bike, cause he whining and crying. Oh man, I ain't gonna take your bike, man. No. He shouldn't have let you take his bike. That part. I shouldn't have let you take my bike. I was supposed to get my ass whooped trying to get my bike back. Then I could go get my parents. Me and this nigga just got down, man. This nigga took my bike. I better have a busted nose or a black eye. Cause we gonna get down about my bike. You not taking nothing from me. You not finna just take my bike. We finna do something. That's how my household is. And if I whined and cried, mommy, they won't let me play. Mommy, he just did this and that. You know what? Guess what my mama's gonna do? You know what? Bring your ass in this house. And you staying in this house. Because you keep whining and crying like a little ass girl. Take your ass in your room. Go get all your toys and you play in the house. Don't ask me to come back outside. So if it's like 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, you gonna stay in the house all damn day. While these kids are having a good time outside, the kids out there playing, yay, tag, jump rope, and you gotta stay in the house because you wanna be feminine or a little pansy. That's what that is. So about 4 o'clock roll around, you fucking, mama, can I please go outside? Mama, can I please? Yeah, you stay right here. I'm not gonna whine or cry. I'm not gonna whine or cry. I ain't gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? You think it's funny and it ain't. But one thing a woman don't want to raise is a punk. That's one thing a mama don't want to raise is a punk. You know what I mean? I ain't raising no punk. You're gonna be a gentleman. You're gonna be a gentleman and get your ass whooped, but being a punk is what you're not gonna do. You're gonna get your butt whooped. About anything feminine like that, that's not gonna work with them. So that's why I'm a little bit different. It wasn't my brothers who taught me. It wasn't my uncles who taught me. This is coming from the woman that gave me milk. The hips I came out of. So when another big old fool comes and think I'm supposed to be scared of him, no, me and you, we are gonna fight. That's what we is gonna do. Well, most people are scared of me. No, you hit me and I'm supposed to whoop your ass. That's what I was taught. You put your hands on me and I'm supposed to put you down. I'm supposed to get your ass together. You know what I'm saying? And then not be scared about it. And that's how I'm taught to survive. Now, I don't know what your mama told you, but it possibly can get you hurt. You probably in the wrong section. Because what follows that is my mama said, if he's too big, you pick up something and knock the shit out of him with it. If he's too big, you pick up something and you knock the shit out of him with it. But whatever it is, I'm supposed to come home every night. I don't know what's on your side of whatever it is. So you might think like, oh man, that fool, we was fighting and then he picked up a rock and knocked me in the head with it. What, you feel he was wrong? You feel he was wrong? Nah, you a punk if you pick up a rock and hit somebody in the head with it. Nigga, you are 6 feet and above. The person you was fighting is not even 6 feet. And you gonna tell him how to whoop you. No, your mama need to go back and sit you down and rewire your circuits. I mean, literally. Now, how about telling on people? My mama did not play that because it was feminine to her. It's feminine. It's very feminine to be telling on people. But you really want to know the bad part? Want to know why my mom would, if I would, like, let's say I was a snitch. I had to snitch on some homies or snitch on some ops. My mom would put me out of her house and I can't come home and she's mad at me. You want to know why? Because I didn't have no business being a part of none of that bullshit in the first place. She wasn't raising me to be nobody's gang member. She wasn't raising me to be a part of criminality. I was supposed to be something, but not something that was bad. And I chose to do that, and now here I am tattling on people or doing some fuckery. That's why my mom was mad at me. You didn't have no business being part of that shit, no way. And that's exactly what she told me when I was about 17 years old. Yeah, you don't have no business being part of that mess. I had got too big for my mama to be whooping. She was only 5'5". Very small woman. Very short, thick woman. And so to all you short, thick women raising these big ass boys, teach them a lesson before the streets have to teach them. Because if you send him out the door without the knowledge, and he got to find out in the streets, or he one of them ill-tempered ass kids where you didn't shut him down and let him know that somebody gonna shut you down out there, so you got to show up this way, it'd be somebody's pleasure to blow your son's brains out. I kid you not. Your son won't grow to be a man. He'll die a teenager. I got shot in the back when I was 16. Almost died. From that one little shot. That one little shot damn near killed the hell out of me. I was in the hospital for 3.5 weeks. On machines. Ain't nothing like dying at 16.